Hey, I'm back. So let's talk about what happened in Japan in August 2016. So the first thing I want to talk about is Pokemon Go. If you don't know, Pokemon Go was released recently. Why am I saying if you don't know? You do know, I'm sure of it. So anyways, it's a really popular game all over the world, not only in Japan, but other places. And in fact, it was released in Japan a little bit late. So now people have been having like this hysteria for the past, 2 months or so since it's been released. But instead of all being bad news about like accidents and things, there's actually been some good news about it. Now they're doing a new campaign, so prefectures like Kumamoto and other prefectures that have been hit by natural disasters like typhoons and flooding and things are now getting some help from Pokemon Go. I know you're thinking like, how does Pokemon Go help them? A lot of these prefectures depend on tourism, and since recently there's been so many natural disasters and things have been destroyed, many people don't want to come and they're like, how do we get people to come back? So they partnered with Pokemon Go, and now they'll have special rare Pokemon and other things in these prefectures that you won't be able to find other places in Japan. So this is kind of a bonus, so if you're a Pokemon Go player, check out these prefectures and you can head there and try to find some rare Pokemon there that maybe you can't find other places. Personally, I think this is a great idea because, of course, they have Pokemon in Tokyo, but they really need to cut down on the amount of Pokemon in Tokyo because there's so many people working, there's lots of cars, there's lots of people. You don't want to be bumping into somebody just looking at their screen trying to find Pokemon. But someplace like Kumamoto or, I don't know, Akita or something, I don't think they mind. They probably want people there for whatever reason they're there for. So please continue this. I think this is a good thing. So congratulations to whoever thought of this. The next one I want to talk about is this depressing Otaku Comic. So I saw this recently and it's interesting and I think it's good, but actually it is kind of depressing. It's written by an actual otaku, and this man was like an idol otaku. So if you don't know, idol otakus, they like singers and dancers. And so this man, basically, he devoted his life to it because that's what otaku means. And he did this, and over the years, it was good for a while, and he thought to himself, as you can see in the comic, he's like, I'll just do this for a little while, and then when I'm older, I'll, start working hard. And he thought this at 18, but then he woke up one day at 25, and he's like, wait, all my friends who are otaku, lots of them, they have jobs, and they're, not otakuing anymore. They stopped going to these idol concerts with me, and he said even a few of them, they got married to women and they had children. And he thought, what's going on with me? What happened to all my friends? And then he started looking at idols he enjoyed. He's like, when I was 18, I liked this idol. And he'd look and he's like, this idol now is married to some regular guy and she's having children. And he's like, life has passed me by. And actually, this is one of the interesting things about Japan. Idols aren't so popular for so long, and then once they, cease to be idols, they just turn into normal people, which, in my mind, idols are like Britney Spears or somebody, or Christina Aguilera. So, although they're not, the most popular people now, it's I don't see them in the supermarket, but, in Japan, that can happen. They can be your dental hygienist or your somebody working at a supermarket or whatever. And so this obviously made him depressed because he's like, my life has passed me by. And it gets a little bit dark in this manga, but don't worry, he's still alive. And lots of people praise this and this is really sad, but it's also an honest look into someone's life. A lot of people said don't be so depressed. You're actually lucky because you can draw really well. And to be honest, I enjoyed this comic, so I hope he continues this. And if you enjoy this, I'll give you a recommendation for a manga or anime. There's a manga and anime called NHK Yokoso. And this one is about a hikikomori. So hikikomori is someone who doesn't leave their house. And it's about his struggles and how he gets out of his hikikomori-ism. And it's really good, so if you like these kind of depressing things, check it out. If you don't like weird, depressing things, I wouldn't, because it'll probably make you even more depressed than you already are. On a lighter note, in the Tokyo Chocolatory, KitKat has released a Sub-Zero KitKat. Basically what they did is they put various fruits and things on this KitKat, and then they freeze it using dry ice, I believe, to make a like Sub-Zero KitKat. And I don't know, I couldn't try this, but I really wanted to, but if they have it again, I will try it, but geez, they're going hard, this Chocolatory. I don't even know, like this year alone, I can't even remember how many flavors Kit Kat has had. Just in 2016, I think I've tried probably like 6 new flavors, and I know I skipped some because I couldn't get them. They have some of the Chocolatory, and I've just been too lazy to go there. But I commend Kit Kat too. Give them a round of applause. They're really doing a good job, so I hope they expand this to America so they have this, but if not, at least expand it to my local grocery store. I don't want to go all the way to Tokyo just to get Kit Kats, but you gotta do what you gotta do. The next story is about Japanese women, actually, and this was a little bit surprising. So they did a survey recently, and they asked women, would you rather have a handsome man with no money or an ugly man that was rich? And this is like one of those classic questions they always ask. And I thought like, I know the answer to this, although they did break it down in percentages. But what they did on this one, which was a little bit interesting, they broke it down by age groups. And I would have thought, and lots of people would have thought, that the younger girls would have said, I want the good-looking man. And the older women would have said, I want some money, I don't care how ugly he is. But the really strange thing is, it was the opposite. The younger women said, no, I don't care so much about how the man looks. But the older women said, yeah, I want somebody that looks good. Money's not so important. So I thought this was a little bit interesting and surprising. But to be honest, there are some things, like some trends in Japan that have been changing this. So there's an article about a year ago about the three middles or something. I forgot what it's called. But it's basically talking about how women used to like these things called like the 3 highs, like high academic background, which means like you went to a good school, high salary, and high as in height. I know it sounds strange in English, but in Japanese it sounds better, trust me. But now women have changed and they're not really looking for that anymore. They're just looking for like a guy who doesn't waste lots of money, a guy who works and has a job, and a guy who is, I forgot if it's like faithful or like not weird or something. I can't remember off the top of my head, but maybe I'll do another video about it soon. But it said women kind of have diminished expectations. So I guess that's good for guys. So if you're looking for a Japanese girlfriend, now's the time. Strike while the iron's hot. Because if it goes back to the way it was, you might be out of luck. But right now, if you're looking for a young Japanese woman, you don't need good looks, just have a bit of money. So there you go. The last one I want to talk about is Bleach. Now, I'm sure if you subscribe to my channel, you know I just did a rant about Bleach and how I was disappointed with the last year or so, actually probably more than a year, of the manga. Now it's ended, and I was hoping they were going to bring back the anime, but it seems they're not going to do that. Instead, they were teasing this big surprise, like big Bleach news after it ends. But what happened was they decided we're going to do a live action movie. Now, this was my second disappointment. One of the problems I have is if you watch Japanese cinema, like me, you know, anime is generally pretty good. Like the direction's good, it has, like the quality is great, etc. If you watch actual movies, not always so. And in fact, oftentimes, it's not that good. And especially with something like Bleach, I don't know if they can do it. I haven't seen it, but I've seen clips of Rurouni Kenshin. I think that one actually looks really good, but that's probably the only, like anime to live action that I've seen that's looked really good. The other ones have been kind of a mess. Case in point, last year's Attack on Titan, people in America, Japan, pretty much everyone who didn't make the movie said it was terrible. So I don't want the same thing to happen to Bleach. I would rather them just make like an ending movie or continue the anime or do like a special like one-off or something like Visored Adventures or I don't know, Byakuya and Kinpachi's special journey or something like that. I'd rather see something like that. I don't need a live action version, but what do I know? But I shouldn't be so negative. Like, I hope it's good. I hope I'm wrong, and I hope this is a great movie that I can enjoy and everyone else can, but who knows? Anyways, as always, vote for the best story, whichever one you liked best. And also, don't forget to subscribe, give this a thumbs up, share it, and all that other good stuff. And I'll be back soon with another video. But until then, see you.
If you enjoyed that video, subscribe. Also, feel free to comment down below and check out some of my other videos here. Or is it here?